You know what? There is a famous saying: get the best and you will cry for once, or get the cheapest and you will cry forever. And that is true for gadgets also. But here's the question: do we really need the greatest one every time? Or are we all just gotten beautifully misled by the brands? And today, I'm finding out the truth.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste.
Okay then, so I have been using this phone from last 1 week, and just like any other gadget, it has also their pros and cons. So let's talk about it.
No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.
First up, let's start with the design. So it has a glossy glass design type. It's not a glass actually, but it's a polycarbonate, and frames are also polycarbonate. And in hand feel, I will say it's pretty strong. It's not like it's cheap or anything. The design feels amazing, and in hand feel is also pretty good. Like it feels like it's built like a tank, I will say. And the camera layout this time around, Samsung has chosen this different camera island this time. It's not like the typical Samsung's one, like the three cameras. This time around they went with this island, and two cameras up there and one bottom main sensor down there. So yeah, the different design appreciated from Samsung. Yeah, so I will say it's a pretty good solid build. And there is one more thing that you need to note is there is no IP rating, official IP rating, so you have to keep safe this thing from water and dust. And the next thing is the pros of this phone is the display. So it has 6.7 inches Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display from Samsung. So it's a Samsung display, and this phone itself is a Samsung, so there is no issues in display like any Samsung phone you picked up from Samsung, like giving Super AMOLED displays. The quality, the sharpness, the brightness, it's top notch. Like the same case here, the 6.7 inch 120 Hz Full HD Plus display. But it's also have 120 Hz refresh rate, but no adaptive refresh rate. So you will get only two options, 120 or 60 FPS. So there is no adaptive thing. And the biggest problem with this display, I will say, is a water drop style notch. Being like the device is 2025 model, but still it has a water drop style notch. And the previous version, the predecessor of this phone, has like full like dot notch, like the punch hole design. But I don't know why the Samsung chose to the next version of the phone, the M36 has like water drop style notch, and the M35 has dot notch, the punch hole wala notch. I don't know why the Samsung chose the water drop style notch, but yeah, there is no problem with the display, but the viewing experience and the overall, when you pick up this device and if you look at it, it feels kind of outdated sometimes, but if you are able to manage with this, then it's a great display from Samsung. And next up, being AMOLED, but still it has no AOD, the always on display feature. It's not a deal breaker, I will say, but some people like to use AOD, so yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So no AOD, but better display, like 120 Hz, and the sharpness of the Samsung. So yeah, great display. So as much as we love the display from the Samsung, we hate the Exynos processor from Samsung. But yeah, so this thing also has a Exynos 1380 as like the previous M35. So there is no big upgrade in kind of a processor, but I will say it's a tried and tested processor. It's not like that bad like the previous Exynos ones, but yeah, it does a pretty good job, and the thermal performance is also quite okayish, I will say, because in the previous version the M35 has vapor chamber cooling. This one there is no vapor chamber cooling, so yeah, you have to manage the heat also. So talking about the user experience and the users, the normal using, like the 80% of the people will get along with this, like there is no problem with that. That this phone will handle everything, like the WhatsApp, the browsing, the YouTube stuff, the media control, everything. If you're a heavy user, like shooting a lot of stuff, editing stuff on this and gaming, then it kind kind of give you some time problem here and there. So playing BGMI and Genshin Impact, you can play it at lower FPS and the lowest graphic settings. But yeah, this is not a gaming phone, I will say, and this is not a gaming phone, but it's a normal phone with a normal for a normal user. So Exynos 1380, you take it with a pinch of salt. Like it's not a powerful phone, but yeah, it's okay for the price range that it's offering, like 15 to 20,000 price range. You will get this, and I will say if you don't understand the Exynos processors, so you can get it like a Snapdragon 7 Gen 2, like a performance. So yeah, Exynos 1380. I have tested it, no problem. And talking about the next thing, the biggest feature of this phone, I will say that you should buy this phone in this price range is cameras. So it comes with a triple camera setup at the rear. So it has a primary 50 megapixel main sensor from Samsung, 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro lens. So I will say it's dual camera instead of triple. Macro lens is not that usable, but yeah, all the main sensor and the ultra wide are usable enough. And talking about the picture quality, it takes a really sharp photos with a lot of details. And the 50 megapixel main sensor, if you set the camera to 50 MP, the mode in a camera phone, in a camera application, then it gets pretty good details along with it. So yeah, the camera is pretty good, I will say, and it shoots at 4K 30 FPS. And talking about the front and talking about the ultra wide, it covers 120 degree of field of view, and it's also pretty good ultra wide camera compared to like the predecessor of this phone, M35. And the 2 megapixel, it sounds so low, like 2 megapixel is nothing, but yeah, taking photos with the macro shots, it kind of still detailed and clear enough to usable, like use on social media or anything. And talking about the front camera, the first thing that you should notice is it's also shoot at 4K 30 FPS from the front camera. It has 13 megapixel main sensor, the front camera I'm talking about, and it gets you like 4K 30 FPS recording also, like the rear one. And I will say it's the first phone in this range, price range, that gives you 4K 30 option in the front as well as at the back. So yeah, if you are a content creator and you like to take photos, a lot of photos, and you are a photogenic person, then yeah, you can get this phone only for this reason that the cameras are pretty good. And the Samsung sense, like the sense of the cameras, like the Samsung have a pretty good sense in terms of cameras, the lighting, the dynamic range. So I will say the cameras are the best thing on this phone. And talking about the lens switch, I will say this phone has capabilities that it can switch lenses between the ultra wide and the main sensor. But when it's at 180, like 1080 pixels, like the full HD resolution, it can't switch lenses between when you're shooting at 4K, because the ultra wide lens can't shoot at 4K. So that's why this the lens, the main lens and the ultra wide, if you want to switch between while recording, you have to shoot at 1080 pixels, like full HD plus, and at 30 FPS. And next up, the thing which breaks or makes the phone is the software. And thanks to Samsung, the One UI 7 out of the box works pretty fine, and the One UI 8 is still going to come with Android 16. But yeah, talking the user experience, there are some bloatwares at the starting when the phone boots up for the first time, but yeah, you can install them and everything. And talking about the One UI, it's the best skin in the Android world. Like I will say, there are no competition for this. Like there are Gemini features, the Galaxy I think also is there. So I will say One UI experience is the best. The customization things and everything. And talking about the customizations, there is no support for the good lock, but yeah, you can customize everything on this phone, like in settings app and everything. But yeah, there is no support for good lock. And the app opening closing animation is also there. So yeah, One UI is pretty good on this phone also. But yeah, you will not get the whole features of the Galaxy I, but yeah, some of still are there, like the main features like the circle to search, generative AI film and everything. And yeah, there is also voice modes also. When you are on a call, you can select between standard and the voice focus mode. So yeah, you are in a public area, there were a lot of noise going around, yeah, you can use the voice mode focus also. And this thing will get 6 years of software updates. So yeah, it's a pretty good thumbs up from me. Like 6 years is a big number, but the thing is the processor should able to handle everything. So yeah, we will see how it ages in this world. So yeah, One UI is a big thumbs up from my side because it's the best skin in the Android world. And talking about the connectivity of this phone, so this phone is 5G, obviously. So it has 8 5G bands, and it also has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth version 5.3. So it also has an NFC, so you can use Samsung Pay and Samsung Pass for like wireless payments, the tap and pay wala. And also, so talking about the connectivity, I never faced like calling issues and anything. There is no problems like as the typical Samsung phones. There is no issue in connectivity and everything. Wi-Fi connectivity, I faced a bit of issues in Wi-Fi aggregation, but the Bluetooth and the NFC one is pretty fine. So yeah, it also has this premium feature like wireless payments, the tap and pay. So you can add your debit and credit cards into this, and you can do payments via NFC. So yeah, it's a pretty connected phone, I will say. And also one more thing, it has a USB 2.0, so there is no USB 3.0. Obviously at this price range you will get only 2.0. So yeah, transfer speeds and everything, it's kind of okay. I tried to transfer 6 GB of file from the SSD to this, and it takes around 2 to 3 minutes. So yeah, okay transfer speeds, I will say. And next up we have single speaker. So this phone comes with single speaker. Like the previous, the M35 has a dual stereo speakers, but this time around Samsung chose to give only one speaker. But being only one stereo speaker, this phone sounds pretty good. Like the bass and the trebles, the clarity is there. If you crank up the volume to 100% also, then the volume doesn't crack. So yeah, this is a pretty good, I will say, speakers. The being single speaker, it's still loud and clear enough. And it also has a dual microphone, so noise cancellation thing is there. Like I have said previously, the voice focus mode. The microphone's quality is also pretty good, I will say. The dual the dual microphones are there. And next up we have a 5000 milliamp hour big battery, the big cell in there, and it will last you like 1.5 days in a normal use. And on a heavy use, it will give you like 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. And it supports 25 watts of fast charging. I will not say it's a fast because, but nowadays every Samsung like the S series also only gives you 25 watts. So yeah, this thing is also there. Charging, it takes like 1.5 hours of to get it from 0 to 100%. So yeah, charging. And the one thing is there, the charger is not there in the box just like any of the Samsung phone nowadays. But yeah, they should include a charger because it costs like 1000 more, and in this price range adding 1000 more opens up a different category. So yeah, charging would have been there. But yeah, everything is fixed. Like the battery 5000 milliamp hour, 25 watt fast charging. It's a pretty solid battery life, I will say. And if you're planning to get this device, it comes with two variants. So it has 8 GB RAM, 128 GB storage, and 8 GB RAM, 256 GB storage. So this variant, the phone I have right here, is 8 GB RAM and 256 GB storage. And it has a LPDDR4X RAM type and UFS 2.2. So there is not like the lower quality RAM or anything. It's value for money according to the price range that we are paying right here, the LPDDR4X and UFS 2.2. So yeah, it's a pretty fast storage and RAM. So as we have talked about every aspect of this phone, so let's talk about the conclusion. So should you get the Samsung Galaxy M36 in 2025? So I will say, before answering this question, I will say you need to understand there are two kind of phones. So first category is where you will get everything below best, and there are next kind of phones where you will get everything is good but the one or two things will be best. So this falls under second category where you will get everything average but the camera and the display like the best quality. So if you're going for the display and the cameras, you can get this phone. Like the content creation, if you are watching a lot of stuff on your phone, then yeah, you can get the Samsung Galaxy M36. And so recently the sale dropped and this phone was selling for like 15,000. But if you're getting for more, you're looking for more better options, this is also best option. But if I'm looking for more better options than the predecessor of this phone, the M35 is still a better deal, I will say. Like the dot notch, you will get the punch hole one, the dual stereo speakers, the processor is also same like the Exynos 1380. So yeah, if you are going for the previous phone also, the M35, it's still a great design and a great choice, I will say. And the A35 is also a great choice from Samsung. And if you are going out of the Samsung brand, then yeah, there are a lot of phones that you can choose from. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Shubham, and cheers guys.
Yeah, yeah.